So this week in religion, when we learn about Bible stories, we're going to be reading stories about creation. So you'll need your little creation booklet today. But first, we're going to read this story. It's called In the Beginning, the story of creation. And we're just going to read the first 2 days today because we're going to work on the first 2 days in our creation booklet. And then each day we'll read the day that goes along with our little coloring book. All right? So in the beginning, the story of creation. This book has beautiful pictures or illustrations. In the beginning, the story of creation. In the beginning, before time began, there was nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to touch or smell. There was only silence and only darkness. God moved alone through the inky darkness. Now, does this look like a place that you would want to live and you would want to be? Doesn't look like it to me. All darkness and silence. Then God created the heavens and the earth was covered by water. "Let there be light," God said. It was faint at first, that means not very bright, a flicker in the darkness that grew and grew, and it became a glowing ball that pushed the gloom aside, soft and yellow, then red, pink, and dazzling gold. God delighted in its loveliness. Then the changing light seemed to have a life of its own, and God called the light day. When the light faded into the darkness, he called the dark night. It was the very first day of the world. So on day one, God separated the darkness from the light. He called the light day. He called the darkness night. On the second day, when the light came back, God made the sky. It was a soft, bright blue, and it hung over the earth like a canopy. All right, so we're going to stop our book there. We'll continue our book tomorrow. So now we're going to work on our creation book like this. So why don't you find yours and get your markers ready or your crayons, whatever you want to use. I'll probably use markers today. And the first thing we do is always the same, right? We pick up our pen or a pencil and we write our name. So this says creation by, and mine's going to say by Miss Agnesek because it's my book. Yours is going to have your name. Remember, try to do the first letter capital and the rest of them are lowercase. All right, so day one, it says, Day one, God made light when there was none. Day one, God made light when there was none. So if you look, this is the number 1, and we've got the light here. So God made the light. There was the light, and there was the darkness. So I'm going to make the rest of it black, like the darkness. I love that God decided to create the world. Do you know who he created the world for? He created it so we could enjoy it. He created it for us because he loves us. And he knew, I need to create a world. And then I need to put people in the world to take care of it and enjoy it and love it. So if you were ever unloving to the world, like throwing trash on the ground or killing animals or killing flowers or plants, that kind of makes God sad. So we want to do our best to take care of the world that God gave us. All right. If you need to finish, press pause before you turn to the next page. So day one, God made light when there was none. Moving on. Day 2, do you remember? Day two. God made the clouds and the water too. So he made the sky. They say God separated the waters from the sky, from the waters below. Day two. So clouds are going to be white, so I'm going to leave them white. And I'm going to color the sky around them blue. But I'm going to make sure I leave my clouds white. Because when you look at the clouds outside, they are white. And the sky is blue. Sometimes the sky can be gray. Sometimes the sky can be almost white even, if it's like a foggy day, huh? That's just low clouds covering up the blue sky. The blue sky days are my favorite kind of days. And I thank God for those blue skies. You can tell God, thank you, God, for making the beautiful blue sky. Thank you, God, for making the beautiful clouds. Thank you, God, for making the light. And thank you, God, for making the darkness. We need the darkness, right? Gives us time to rest. Ooh, it's kind of tricky to color around the clouds. But I'm going to go super slow when I color around the clouds so I don't go out of the lines. Ooh, looks good. All right, and then tomorrow we'll work on the next page. So we're just doing 2 pages right now, and then tomorrow we'll do some more, and then we'll work on our book all throughout the week.